Wake up!
Hey, you! Pull your ass out of bed.
It is time for your Saturday morning hangover cure. You know how this works. Your Uncle Dave and your Uncle Kev, we are trying to make your life better after a miserable, awful night of rejection.
If you're gonna play, you're gonna pay.
You're dehydrated. Drink a lot of water. Get some aspirin. Start frying up the eggs, the bacon, the sausage. You know
Whatever.
the drill.
You know what you need.
You listen to us here over the next hour and a half. We will tell you how to get through the Western weekend, what to watch, what to listen to,
what to read, maybe what to avoid.
Yeah, a lot, in my opinion, my humble opinion of what to avoid. Of course, this is your Uncle Dave, the Conquistador Dave Height.
And that's your Uncle Kev, the Maestro Kevin Crane.
Yeah, we've kind of did our little pre-podcast discussion, and I think we're going to have some issues here.
Potentially.
Very rare, but I think we're going to have some issues.
It happens.
So we start off, as always, with Rock and Roll, an album that I was really looking forward to. Dirty Honey, Can't Find the Brakes is our featured album review for the week. And we saw them in concert last year, co-headliner with Mammoth WVH.
Yep.
They were fantastic.
A great concert band.
Yep.
Overproduced in studio, I think it would be safe to say.
I didn't like the album. I didn't like it. It bored me to tears. Part 1, songwriting is awful. There is no good lyric on this album. There is nothing catchy in terms of the lyrics at all on this album. It's all cliches. It's all just generic, boring lyrics. Now, I am not trying to disparage the band as a whole. Guitar, drums, bass throughout, tight, very good.
There's some really great riffs in here.
Yes.
That are fantastic.
The first 3 songs. Don't Put Out the Fire, Won't Take Me Alive, and Dirty Mind. And this seems to be a pattern that we've seen throughout the year.
Strong and then it tapers off.
Yep.
See, Dirty Mind, I will say it was okay. But I agree, the first 2 definitely.
See, now you and I are already going to fight. We're already going to fight about it. There we go. Because I thought Dirty Mind was much better. Won't Take Me Alive.
That's the weaker one.
That just it gave me a headache. I had to take an aspirin.
I get that. Don't Put Out the Fire is probably my favorite one on here.
Top 3. Yes. But of course, you would expect them to start the album off.
But I didn't like it the first time I heard it.
I can see that.
I was like, really? This is what you're starting off? The more I heard him, like, you know what? This is a damn good song.
The guitar riff will insinuate itself into your brain.
It's an earworm.
Yes, it's got a nice little sleazy guitar.
It does.
A blues guitar riff there.
Yes.
So let me get to the point here. We're not going to break down the whole album yet.
We're not going to go too far.
No. But let me get to my point in terms of my perception of the weakness that is in Dirty Honey. It is the lead singer. Mark LaBelle, I can't stand the high range. Too high pitched, too often. He doesn't have a personality. He doesn't change things up enough. I don't know if he thinks he's Robert Plant. I don't know what he's doing, but he's boring, and then he's irritating with the high pitch.
The high pitch does get on your nerves. I will give you that. God.
Now, I want to give props to their lead guitarist, John Nato.
He is really good.
Stellar throughout the album.
Yes, he carries everything in here.
I don't want to rip on the rest of the band. Guitar, bass, drums,
tight,
all solid,
very good.
Now, you said you had 4 songs on this album you liked. What are they?
Well, Won't Take Me Alive,
Okay.
Outside the Thing, Don't Put Out the Fire, which I said was my favorite. I liked the title track, Can't Find the Brakes. Was decent. And then I liked Satisfied.
Wrong.
You're wrong. Oh my God. If you say you liked Rome, we are done.
No. No, my favorite 4 were the first 3. Don't Put Out the Fire, Won't Take Me Alive, Dirty Mind, and then the final song, Rebel Son.
Oh my God, it was too fucking long.
Oh, but I liked it because it was long and they actually stretched out a little bit.
It was okay.
And actually tried to be a regular rock and roll band.
It was okay.
Where they let themselves just play and...
It was okay.
What did you think of the second to last song? You Make It All Right.
You Make It All Right?
That one was on the border for me. That one was close.
So, you know, I
had potential. It had potential.
I kind of liked Coming Home.
Oh, my God. I threw up in my mouth when I heard that song. That is so boring.
Wow,
what a pretentious title. Ballad of the Shire.
I thought it would...
Subtitle Ballad of the Shire.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I kind of like that one.
Act like you're any more like Led Zeppelin. Not.
It wasn't horrible.
Oh, it was god-awful dull. That was my least favorite song on the album.
Wow. No, you're wrong.
Rome was bad.
Rome was the worst one on there.
But, oh, Jesus.
Get a Little High was...
No. Again, an album I was really looking forward to for the last couple months because, again, we saw them in concert. This was so disappointing. I
wonder again if, as we talked about, if this isn't a product of being overproduced.
And I agree with you. I think these songs would play much better live.
Yes.
Than they come off on an album. But it's not going to overcome the fact that this is bad songwriting and bad singing. I do not like the lead singer. I do not like the songwriting.
No, I will agree with you there.
At Ultimate Classic Rock, my favorite website, put this in the top 20 for the year. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you guys thinking?
Because there's a lack of stuff out there.
That's probably why.
I mean, you look, most of what we've reviewed this year has been in that 2.5 and under range. And we have not been happy with most of what's come out this year.
And the sad thing is we had high hopes for this year based on what was coming out, who was putting new music out, and it was so disappointing. So much of it was so disappointing.
Yeah.
And this is just the perfect cap to the year. A disappointing year in rock and roll. Now, you obviously are going to be more generous than I am with this. I will give Dirty Honey, Can't Find the Brakes, the absolutely weakest 2 frenzies I can give it.
See, I'm going a weak 2.5.
See,
I liked it a little bit more than you did. There you go. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Things don't get much better here with our 2 songs of the week.
Oh, Geddy. What are you doing to us?
This is an example of somebody branching out from
the norm.
The group that made them what they were. You could talk about this with Sting. You can talk about this with plenty of other artists. And I've always said, I don't like it when artists branch out from the core group that made them what they were. This is why I give credit to Bono. Because Bono has never strayed from U2.
No, he hasn't.
He's smart enough to know I'll probably suck ass without the Edge and without Clayton and Mullen.
Yeah.
So they keep that group together. Sting should have stayed with Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland. Always, I've said, should have. He's had some nice songs on his own, but he's lost that dynamic, that edge. You need that edge.
Yeah.
And you can tell from these two songs, Geddy Lee, Gone, and I Am You Are, that he needs that edge with Neil Peart and Alec Lifeson. He needs that edge.
The whole is greater than the part.
Yeah. I mean,
and of the two, Gone was better.
No, it wasn't. Not even close. Even close.
Oh, I Am You Are was awful.
Oh my God, Gone put me to sleep. And I listened to it after Dirty Honey.
I could at least give Gone the props for it being the grieving piece.
No, I get that. The
That's personal why I feel grieving. Bad. I give it a little bit more for that piece, knowing that he wrote it to deal with what he was going through.
I understand that. I can't do that. I cannot do that. Knowing even the background of why the song was written the way it was.
Just bad.
Oh, no, it was more like mid-90s era Rush. Gone. I don't know what Gone was. I mean, Gone was just boring. I could have written boring on a cocktail napkin.
Yeah, see, that's where I was with I Am You Are. I thought that was just lame.
But at least I had some guitar and some drums in there.
Even if it wasn't good.
Well, let's put it this way. Both were underwhelming.
They were. They were very underwhelming. Very disappointing overall.
But again, Dave and I are going to dispute which one was more underwhelming than the other. Oh, I would say Gone is maybe a 1 frenzy. Again, I understand the circle.
I gave that a 2.
I cannot give
I gave Gone a 2, and I gave I Am You Are a 1.5.
See, I would go 1 and 2. I would give I Am You Are a weak 2.
Well, there you go. See, we don't always agree, kids.
And again, I understand, and it makes me feel bad. But again, I separate. No, I separate. I separate the sentiment from the actual song itself.
See, now
you can't do that. You can't say, well, because of the tragedy of Neil Peart's life, you have to give it. No, I don't have to give it. I actually
liked it better than I Am You Are.
Well, okay, that's fine. I hated it. I thought it was a terrible song. I thought it was a terrible song. So we're Oppo
there as well. There you go, kids.
Oh, we're not even close to being done yet, kids. We still got the movies. We got 2 movies to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe we're closer on those.
We're going to be closer than you think on the movies.
All right. Next week, 3 new songs. Guaranteed we're going to be much better with these songs. Guaranteed. Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
Sebastian Bach.
Boom, baby.
What do I got to lose? We have got new Sebastian Bach. You know damn well we're going to review that next week. This mythical Guns N' Roses song that we've been hearing so much about for the last couple months. The General is finally out now. Now, see, I'd heard initially this was supposed to be like a 7-8 minute opus, and I hear it and it's like 3.5 minutes. So,
who knows?
And then we've got the second song from Mick Mars, The Right Side of Wrong, off his upcoming debut solo album. But
the album
next week is our last episode before Christmas.
So we have to throw a Christmas album in.
Mark Tremonti, our man from Creed, from Alter Bridge. Brand new Christmas album. Merry Christmas. Classics, new and old, will be our Christmas album review for the year. But
wait,
I'm
there's
not done
more.
yet, because I teased this over a month ago. I said that I had a very special hidden gem, a hidden Christmas gem. Oh, don't rub your head, Dave. This one you will love. I can't believe this slipped under our radar for 15 years. 15 years, and we never found out about this song. Now I can finally tell you what it is for next week. It is called A Christmas Duel. It is the Hives and Cyndi Lauper.
Oh my God.
And it is obscene, it is offensive, and it is awesome.
It is everything Sports Frenzy is.
Yes. So this
Cyndi
somehow,
Lauper obscene?
Yes.
Dare I say, will we have newfound respect?
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes. I guarantee this will offend everybody at your Christmas party if you play this song.
A Christmas duel.
Yes. Basically look at it as a man and a woman in a relationship that's falling apart as they sit there and they yell and scream at each other, talking about what they've done so egregiously to offend the other.
You bought me a fucking hamper!
No, it's much worse. Much worse than that. No, we're talking sexual stuff.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Wow.
America's darling Cyndi Lauper. As she duels with Palm Alquist of the Hives.
Oh my God.
Talking about the things they did to other family members on the other side.
Oh God.
So
wow.
while Mark Tremonti's Christmas album might be a little bit more traditional,
this one
we have to throw a little bit of frenzy in there.
See, you need the Christmas family dysfunction.
Yes. So next week, in addition to the 3 normal songs we will review, we will have Mark Tremonti's Christmas album and a new Christmas tradition. A Christmas duel with the Hives and Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, God help us.
And again, 15 years ago they put this together. How did I not find out about this
sooner?
Yes.
As big a Hives fan as you are.
I know, and it never popped up on my radar.
Well,
never popped
son
up.
of a bitch.
Yes. I'm disappointed in myself. A little bit.
That's what she said.
And they still say much worse in this song. Oh, my God. Again, not for the faint of heart, not for the kids.
Unless they're over 18.
21. Let's go 21. Let's go hard X. Hard X now. I think there's some oral stuff in here. So. Might want to go 21. It's not just the F-bombs, trust me. Not just the F-bombs.
If your kids are 18 and have seen The Boys.
Okay, right in there.
There you go.
Area, in that range. All right, kids, that'll do it for segment 1 here on the weekend edition of Sports Frenzy. But believe me, we've got a lot more coming. We have 2 movie reviews. We've got book reviews. We've got to catch you up on Fargo. It's going to be fun as we get you ready for the holidays.
Yes, it's all going to be good, kids.
Yep. Couple weeks away from
nothing says Christmas holidays like an Exorcist movie.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Great. Wonderful.
Yeah. Here I was going to say we're a couple weeks away from the countdown to the final greatest songs of 2023, albums of 2023. Well, and then you had to throw the Exorcist out there and really just
bring it all down.
Yeah, dump a bunch of holy water on the whole deal.
If only it were that good.
Yeah, kids, sorry. We're trying to keep things upbeat, but
this could probably be coming up one of our worst best ofs.
Yeah, but you have to stay tuned to listen to the full review.
That's right.
So hang out for a couple minutes. Promo break coming. We'll be right back. When the mindless zombies at the major sports networks won't leave you alone. When the forces of evil on local sports radio have you cornered. Load up the boomstick known as Sports Frenzy 2.0. Available on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Apple, Overcast, and Castbox. Kev Dave will drive the dull and boring voices in your head away and offer you the sports salvation you need. New episodes drop every Thursday. And don't forget the weekend edition every Saturday, where the maestro and the conquistador might just review your favorite horror flick. Sports Frenzy 2.0. It's groovy.
All right, kids. Segment 2. Time for movies and books on Spotify, Google, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Amazon, Audible, and iHeart Sports Frenzy, baby.
Otherwise known as iHeartRadio, of course, for some reason. Even though he's drinking beer, the adrenalized Dave Height's got to run through these platforms as quickly as humanly possible.
I've been doing this since we've had this. Come on.
Yes, but we still miss Stitcher.
Stitcher!
All
but
right.
alas, it's Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition. Here we record December 13th, 2023, dropping Saturday the 16th. Your hangover cure.
Of course, we've already got you through music. A little bit of a dissent. A little bit of an argument about Dirty Honey, but
still overall not overly positive.
Nope. So I don't think Dirty Honey will make the list in a couple weeks for our top albums of the year.
That's a good bet.
And I can tell you right goddamn now that Exorcist Believer will not make my list of the best movies of the year.
No.
For the love of God.
It was so fucking slow.
And stupid.
It was bad. Lame. The acting was awful.
I don't understand why Universal paid hundreds of millions of dollars to get this franchise, and then they put this piece of crap out. I mean, seriously.
It was bad.
Two girls go down into a hole. What, a buried? I'm sure there. Here's the thing. It's been so long since I've watched the original Exorcist that I'm sure I'm missing something outside of Ellen Bernstein.
No.
They're trying to give Ellen Bernstein a paycheck, number one.
Yeah. No, you aren't missing anything from the original 73 movie.
Because the two girls go down into this buried
abandoned
tomb
cellar.
Or whatever it is.
An abandoned cellar.
It's a cellar. Yes. And then
out in the middle of the woods.
And then they get possessed. And then it's all about how can we do a exorcism. But it's just so badly done.
Awful.
It's boring.
Awful. The parents are not likable people to begin with.
No, and they set it up.
The setup was bad.
Well, they set it up. You knew who the one weak link is with all the parents and the religious people and everybody who ends up coming in to do the exorcism in the end. You could tell right away the one weak link.
Yeah.
So it's lazy, bad writing when, number one, you can tell.
You know where it's going.
Yes. And then there is, I will say, this is all I will say, there's a little insidious, politically correct plot twist there at the end with all of that. But it's just, like you said, bad acting, bad writing. There's no point to the movie. There is no point. And this is supposed to be the first of a trilogy?
Oh, God help us if it is.
This is supposed to be the first.
The only redeeming part of this movie was probably the last 30 seconds. And that's pushing it.
And I know where you're going with that. But
It's
is that
not
really
worth
it?
it?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's just bad overall. If you want to see a movie about an exorcism, The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe was so much better.
There you go. There you go. I mean,
this was not good.
Not trying to disparage that, but I was just going to say anything about exorcism would be better than this movie.
Yeah.
This was such an absolute god-awful waste of time. I was depressed after watching this movie, thinking I wasted 2 hours of my life on this piece of crap.
Yeah. The other night, I started it. I watched the first 45 minutes and felt myself dozing off. I should have just stopped and have been done with it.
Which is another topic we've been talking about.
Yeah. Why should we waste our time with something that we're not into?
But for you, our loyal listeners,
we
feel
sucked
like we
it
have
up.
to.
We took the hit so you don't have to.
And that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to let you know what to listen to, what to watch. And for the love of God, do not watch The Exorcist Believer. And yes, again, this is supposed to be the first movie in a trilogy. Because again, Universal, for
God
some stupid reason,
better not do the rest of this trilogy.
Outside of the first movie, what has been the appeal of this franchise? I know they've done sequels,
that they
and now this is
have.
kind of like a reboot, but the first movie was one and only. It was unique.
Yeah.
It was shocking for the time. Let it alone again. Let it alone.
Just
and of course, this movie has to do. No spoilers. Has to do the whole twist the neck thing. You know. And then you got the vomit thing. Not quite green pea soup like the first one, but it has nothing original or new to offer. That's what's so offensive about it.
Yeah, it was just, if the storyline would have been better, I could have dealt with that other pieces, but it just was not good.
No, it was badly done.
Again, another freaking horror movie that should not have been made.
I told you the other night, my new scale is the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey scale.
Oh my God.
And if it's worse than that, it's bad. And guess what? I liked Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey better than this. Dave's head is turning around right now on a swivel. I'm telling you, I will take Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey over The Exorcist Believer any day of the week.
God help us.
I
almost have to agree.
I will give The Exorcist Believer one of the lowest ratings in the history of Sports Frenzy. 1/2 of a frenzy. 1/2! Not one, not 1.5, 1/2 of a frenzy, because it was such an egregious fucking waste of my time. There is nothing about it new or original. Nothing.
No, you're right. That's probably on par where it needs to be. Stay the hell away from this one. It's bad.
And the fact that it made almost $70 million at the box office is ridiculous to me. And I get it. People love to go see horror movies. They love to be quote-unquote scared. There's nothing scary about this.
No.
I will say I jumped at one point. Snake. The snake made me
really?
Jump. Yes.
Well, yeah, for you I can see that.
Yes, I hate snakes.
Just like... I
but
just
that's
sat
cheap,
there.
That's a cheap scare, is what that is. That's a cheap scare. Outside of that,
it was just lame.
Terrible,
it was beyond
terrible,
lame.
Terrible.
Stay away.
Stay away. All right, couple little tidbits in movie news before we move on to your Uncle Dave and his book review of the week. I'm still waiting patiently to finally watch a good horror movie, which I think will be Saw 10 when that eventually hits streaming or I can afford to buy the movie. I'm not paying $20 fucking for it. No. But Saw 11 is coming.
Oh, for the love of all that's holy.
September the 27th, 2024, we are getting Saw 11. Yeah! As bad as Exorcist Believer was, I can depend on the Saw movies. Those are well done. Those are well done movies. With a few exceptions, Spiral wasn't all that great, but I love a great horror movie, and the Saw movies are...
If they're well written, well designed. See, that's also why I liked The Final Destination.
Oh, God, yes. God, yes. Those movies are fantastic. Fantastic movies. But again, they're all linked together, and it all comes full circle.
Yeah.
And the thing that scares
there's cohesion to it. And this shit, it's stuff that can really frickin' happen.
Yes. As Mrs. C always says, she does not want to drive behind a truck with logs.
Or anything spiky that...
Yeah, like pipes.
Pipes or anything.
Like yes. And it'll scare the shit out of you when it comes to roller coasters.
Roller coaster.
But that's why I don't want them to redo them or add any
Just
chapters
leave it
to it.
alone.
Because the final one wrapped things up perfectly.
Just
full circle.
Done. End of series.
An unbelievable series. But yes, those were scary, creepy, well done, well written. But oh my God. Why did you have to bring The Exorcist back for this garbage? This absolute garbage. All right.
But you know what wasn't garbage? Anniversary in the theaters, limited release, story time.
Story time.
It's Christmas. And of course, what's the greatest Christmas movie of all time?
It's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls off Nakatomi Plaza.
That's right, damn it. Die Hard, baby. Hit the theaters this week, and the family and I went to see it.
35th anniversary?
Yes, 35th anniversary of Die Hard. God love John McClane.
Hell yeah. And again, another example, should have stopped after 4. Never should have done the 5th.
5th one was the shark.
Yep.
Yeah, but nope. Our annual Christmas viewing of Die Hard came a little early, but you had to go to see it on the big screen once again, and it did not disappoint. Most of the people in there had some sort of Die Hard shirt on. It's a beautiful thing.
Not only a great action movie, but again, a great holiday movie.
It takes place on Christmas Eve.
Come out to the West Coast.
We'll get together.
A few laughs.
The Christmas music. You have a Christmas miracle. You ask for a miracle, I give you the FBI. Family reconnects. Come on, it's got it all.
Yeah, I can't stand the people that, let's watch A Wonderful Life.
Never seen it, and now it's my mission in life to avoid it at all cost.
I want the people that like Die Hard. I want the people that like Office Christmas Party.
Hell, Lethal Weapon's a Christmas movie, for crying out loud.
And technically, it's not Christmas, but it's winter. Hot Tub Time Machine.
There you go.
Going back to Winterfest with Poison.
K-Val.
These are the great holiday movies, the great winter movies of all time, the great Christmas movies. So, geez, Dave, what would you rate Die Hard?
Come on, it's a solid 3.5. 4.
No,
come on.
I was gonna say
it's a 4.
You don't give it 4?
It's a 4. Die Hard is a 4.
Good Lord, yes, it's got to be a 4.
Always a 4. Bruce Willis, early on, come on.
All right, kids, there you go. We have one final bit of business to go to before we get into books. And Dave loves it when I do this to him. He absolutely loves it. It's award season, Dave! The Golden Globe nominations are out. So I'm going to read off
Which actress won her Golden Globes?
No, I'm going to read off some of the movies that we're supposed to watch that we never will.
Why do we even give this credence?
Because
nobody watches award shows anymore. Nobody gives a rat's ass.
But the geniuses out on the West Coast and overseas have said these are the movies and the TV shows that we're supposed to be watching. Otherwise, we're stupid. And we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, the critics and all these people are retarded, so what do we care?
Best Motion Picture Drama. Oppenheimer.
I will watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on streaming Peacock in January, is my prediction. Maestro! Come on, dude! Maestro! It's actually on, I think, Netflix next week.
I'm torn on that one.
Leonard Bernstein. The story of Leonard Bernstein.
I really don't care.
Killers of the Flower Moon. If you got 3.5 hours to kill. No pun intended.
But I might wind up watching that one.
The rest. See, the problem with the Golden Globes is they split the movies up. So you've got basically 12 movies. Because then you've got, I'm not even going to discuss the other 3. The other 3 are crap in drama.
No, you got to tell the kids what to avoid.
Well, but then Past Lives, The Zone of Interest, and Anatomy of a Fall. Have you heard of any of them?
Hell no.
Thank you. Moving on. But then we have 6 in Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. And that's where you get Barbie, Poor Things, which is Emma Stone basically trying to ugly herself up. American Fiction. I don't know what the hell that is. The Holdovers interest me. The Holdovers looks very fun. Paul Giamatti as a college professor stuck with a bunch of kids staying over break.
Yeah, that has some potential. Maybe.
May, December.
No.
And then Air, which I've already watched. So
yeah, no desire.
Air was okay. Air was all right.
I don't give a shit about the development of a shoe.
You want to know about the TV shows? Since this is the Golden Globes,
sure,
of course.
Sure, why not?
All right. The TV shows that we are supposed to be watching. Drama. Succession. Of course, everybody says you got to watch Succession.
It has no appeal to me.
The Morning Show. I'm not getting Apple.
I'm not getting Apple.
The Diplomat. Whatever. The Crown. Hell no.
No.
1923 I'll end up watching. That is the prequel to, one of the prequels to Yellowstone.
Yeah, eventually I'll get to all that crap.
That's the one with Harrison Ford. And
yeah,
Helen Mirren.
Eventually I'll get to those.
And then, of course, the one that I have my issues with, The Last of Us.
Yeah, that was bad.
Politically correct zombie drama.
Yeah,
how do you do that? Politically correct zombie, as if The Walking Dead wasn't.
The Walking Dead.
As if The Walking Dead wasn't politically correct enough. Then we had to go even further with The Last of Us. Now, musical or comedy series. Now, I've heard this is good. The Bear. About the guy who has the deli or the restaurant in Chicago. Everybody raves about Ted Lasso. I could give two ripped shits.
I'm not getting Apple.
And I don't care about Jason Sudeikis coaching a soccer team. No. I saw Will Ferrell do it awesomely in Kicking and Screaming with Mike Ditka. That's all I need to see.
Unless Sudeikis is in Horrible Bosses.
Yes. That's all I care about. Abbott Elementary. Oh, God. Oh, God. Barry. Oh, God. Of course, only Murders in the Building because Steve Martin and Martin Short are in it. So we've got to heap praise upon that beyond all belief. And then the last one I told you about, I wasted an hour of my life watching the first 2 episodes of this. My daughter loved it, and I thought it was the most god-awful piece of crap. Jury Duty on Freevee. Oh, my God. It was so awful. So terrible.
Why? Everybody knows it's a farce except one person? That's stupid.
It's so badly done.
What we do in the shadows?
Acted. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Fargo did make it for best limited series, but I'm assuming that's the last time.
Yeah, from the last
one. Chris
one.
Rock.
Yeah,
can't be the new one. And that was the weakest.
Which is the weakest of all of them.
The weakest season of all.
I've had somebody at work hated that one. Absolutely hated it and asked, should I watch this one?
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Oh no, she absolutely did not like it at all.
But again, maybe What We Do in the Shadows didn't make it because of the cycle. But not one nomination. Not one nomination for What We Do in the Shadows, the greatest TV show out there right now. And that's only because they stopped making Mr. In Between.
That's right. Ugh.
All right, you going to tell the kids about something to read?
Yes. The latest Michael Connelly book, Resurrection Walk. This focuses on Mickey Haller, the Lincoln lawyer, and of course his half-brother, Harry Bosch, who is his Connelly's other character, retired police detective, now working with his brother. Mickey brought Harry on board to help him get the health insurance to treat his bone cancer, which he'd gotten from a previous storyline. But this one, Mickey's got Harry looking at different letters from inmates who say that they're innocent, that they were wrongfully convicted, because in the previous book, Mickey got a guy off who was completely innocent and was railroaded. So Harry's vetting all these letters, trying to do an innocence project. And Harry finds one. Woman accused of killing her sheriff deputy husband and the ineffectual counsel that she had previously. Sheriff cliques, gangs doing wrong, rear their ugly head. Very good story, the way it all comes together. And I really like the way Connelly wrote this one. He goes alternating chapters between what Harry's doing and what Mickey's doing. And as he writes Harry, it's the observer. Bosch is going to investigate. He's driving and talks to so-and-so. When it's talking about Haller, I'm interviewing so-and-so and I'm doing this. So he has the differing points of view, which is the way he writes each of the characters. in their normal books. So the way he's consistent is impressive.
See, now I didn't realize that they were connected. That Bosch...
They're half brothers.
I did not know this.
Yes. So, by father.
And now, in terms of... It's odd that... So, Netflix has the Lincoln Lawyer, but Amazon has Bosch.
Yep, but they have not merged the two.
Right.
To this point.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't.
Right.
Really, technically.
Yeah. And so, the father was a lawyer. And Harry's mother was a client. Mickey's mom, he was married to. And of course, Bosch's mom, it's no thing, was a prostitute. And then Mickey's mom was Hispanic. And years later, through it all, they wind up coming together in a case meeting and find out who they are, and there you go.
Very interesting. So
yeah, it's kind of cool, the dynamic. They did not like each other off the bat, but they're becoming closer working together. So I will give this one a solid 3.5.
Oh, that's a very strong review.
Yeah. No, Connolly does a really good job in writing, and when he's got the way this one came together, the story was solid, and just the way he wrote it, like I said, balancing between the chapters, staying true to how he's written each of the series was very cool.
Now, of course, in the next week or two,
maybe 3.
Shut up, Dave. We will have our review of the latest Lee Child and Andrew Child book, the latest Jack Reacher novel, The Secret, just in time.
Because as you're listening to this, Season 2 of Reacher has dropped on Prime.
Based on Bad Luck and Trouble, which I love how they're basing all of these movies, books, TV shows all tied in together. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Little bit of literature news, book news before we wrap up segment 2. Our favorite author, James Lee Burke, brand new short story collection coming out next month, January the 23rd, including a new novella, Harbor Lights. Will be out January the 23rd of next year. Only a month away.
Only a month away.
So I'll have to do some digging to see where these other stories come from. Of course, we had the movie God's Country came out last year, which was based on a very, very short story.
Very short story.
But they did a great job of expanding it into a full-length movie. But just want to make sure I'm not buying stuff or reading stuff I've already read.
Right.
So I want to see where these stories come from. But again, a novella within Harbor Lights, brand new, never before published. So that's coming out next month.
Anytime you can get new James Lee Burke, you have got to devour it.
Yes, but we still don't know
when we're getting another Robo-Show.
When are we getting a new Robo-Show? All right, one final segment left. Our catch-up with our show that we're watching each and every week right now, Fargo.
And I think we might made-for-TV movie.
Yep. And I think we're adding a new show to the list on top of Reacher, of course. Reacher will be in this slot next week as we recap the first 3 episodes next week. But I think we're looking at a new show on Netflix that we might be delving into.
There could be a new one.
Because it involves a lot of drinking and debauchery and nudity. So, right up our alley! Right up Sports Frenzy's alley. You had me at drinking, debauchery, and nudity. But you'll have to stick around to find out what that show is.
That's right. We'll be right back after this brief little message.
In the fortress of solitary justice, two brave men hold the fate of the sports world in their hands, with the utterance of a single word: frenzy! These seemingly ordinary men become the maestro and the conquistador, destined to save the world from stupidity on Spotify, Anchor, Google, Apple, and all noble podcast hosts everywhere. Dave and Kev stand for truth, justice, and the frenzy way. All right, hopefully the grease is flowing through your veins now. You're starting to feel alive again. The pounding in your temples has gone away. You've taken some aspirin. You're ready to rock and roll for another weekend after a Friday night of disappointment. But that's okay. You're going to have some downtime. Sunday night, you got to watch a movie. You got to listen to some music. You got to watch a TV show, stream something. That's what we're here for. And the third and final segment here on Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition with your Uncle Dave.
That's your Uncle Kev.
We are going to try to get you through a couple things to stream.
Or to not stream.
Well, we'll start off with what to stream. If you have not been watching Fargo, the new season 5, if you have cable, it's on FX. If you don't, it's on Hulu. The new season is exceptional. Very, very good. With a couple questions.
It's really good, but it's bizarre, and there's one character that's, how are they going to explain him if this is a true story?
Exactly. My other question mark is explaining how the main character has the skills
and the wherewithal
to
do what she's doing.
I need to know where this training came from.
Yeah.
But if they can tie it all together, if they can explain it, great season of Fargo. Great season of Fargo.
It's fantastic.
Yep. Jennifer Jason Leigh is the matriarch.
The evil bitch from hell.
So awful, so pretentious, but she plays it beautifully.
Yep.
John Hamm as the lord of his fiefdom, who is in his own way evil and nasty, but has a little bit of that
righteousness.
Sense of, righteousness, justice in him, where he does do the right thing, but just does it in a very wrong way. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just very bizarre.
All set around.
But well done.
Yep, all set around Halloween 2019.
Yeah.
But again, as Dave said, as they all supposedly are, all the seasons based on true stories.
Part of me is wanting to look this up ahead of time to know what I'm getting into here. But part of me wants it to just be revealed before I go read up on it.
Yep, but so far, excellent, fantastic. And of course, when it's all wrapped up, when it's all done, we will give you our full season review.
And each episode that we've seen so far, it does not drag.
No.
It moves at a quick pace. I mean, you're watching and like, holy crap, it's done already.
Yep.
So.
Yep, very, very good. This may be the only positive review of the week.
Yeah.
Is to keep watching Fargo. Bad news on the TV front. I didn't get through season 1. I know you did. Shame on AMC. Shame on AMC. Lucky Hank canceled after only one season with the great Bob Odenkirk.
AMC sucks.
Well, they didn't have zombies in it, so.
But AMC is really bad with that. FX has been horrible with what they've canceled and what they've kept in a number of regards.
I think AMC's worse, though.
I
think right now
they
AMC, all they care about is zombies and Anne Rice, and if it's not, then they cancel it.
Yeah, God forbid you actually have something intelligent.
I'm shocked Dark Winds made it through 2 seasons. The Hillerman.
Yeah.
The Chi Lee porn stuff.
Yeah, that is still on my to-watch list.
Yes, me too.
That I've got to get to.
Me as well.
Actually, I have to go and read the books.
Oh, my God. God. Yeah, of course, you could wipe out what's in the catalog, the Hillerman catalog,
within
2
a
days.
Year.
Yeah, 2 days for you. 30 books, 2 days, whatever.
No, it'd take me about a year and a half. But with everything else that I read.
Oh, shut up, Dave. Shut up.
Well, it took me the pandemic year and a half to get caught up on Spencer.
That's 50 books, right? Big deal for you. Big deal.
Year and a half.
50 books. No big deal. Oh, my God. Do you realize what I have to put up with, people? Do you understand this? Are you listening to this? He reads 50 books in a year and a half like it's nothing.
I strive for a book a week.
That's like 4 years of my life.
I have not hit that this year. I will be lucky to top 40 this year.
I don't believe that for a second.
I track them.
So you're telling me you've only read 40 books this year?
Coming up on.
Bullshit. Bullshit on toast. You've reviewed more than 40 books on this podcast this year.
No, I have not.
Yes, you have.
I have not.
Yes.
I keep track.
I believe you. I
keep track of what I read. You do.
I think you've probably blacked out for a couple months.
No, I have not.
You had a brain injury or something, because I think you've read more.
No.
All right. Our movie TV review of the week. Streaming on Peacock. So we're going to put it in TV and streaming, even though it's a movie.
Based on a TV show, though. So that's why it's here.
But like Aaron said at our Sports Frenzy meeting Monday night when we brought it up, he said, so it's kind of like an extra long TV episode.
Pretty much, yes. Mr. Monk's Last Case. Tony Shalhoub reprises his role as Adrian Monk.
Yep, and if you remember back in the early days of the USA Network, Monk was one of the first popular shows they had, and it was airing towards the end, right when they started Psych. So you had Monk and Psych together.
Yep.
And that was just a mighty, dual 1-2 punch.
Yep, and then you wound up getting Burn Notice.
Yep. With the great Jeffrey Donovan. And that's what established USA, and actually, when they could have shows like FX.
Yep. Then they wound up getting Suits, and then White Collar.
Yep. So Peacock, of course, now owns the USA Network, owns Universal, so they own the rights to all these shows. And so we get Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Peacock exclusive streaming movie. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I am always up for a good caper. I am always up for a good, I grew up with the Sunday NBC murder mysteries, Columbo and McMillan and Wife and McCloud.
Yeah.
And of course we grew up with Starsky and Hutch and Beretta, all into Miami
Heart
Vice.
to Heart and Magnum.
Yep. So all through the 70s into the early 80s. So we're always up for a good caper and a good show with mysteries, detectives, all that. Even you want to go back to Rockford Files, and Hawaii Five-0, Cannon, all that good
Streets
stuff.
of San Francisco, Banachek.
Oh, Banachek. Love Banachek.
So you get the idea.
Now, the thing about Monk was, how do I say this? A one-note, one-trick pony. You either could buy into the whole OCD thing and embrace it,
or it annoyed the hell out of you,
or it annoyed the hell out of you. So this TV movie, the streaming movie, is no different. You take it for what it is. It's low budget. It's Tony Shalhoub playing OCD, Adrian Monk.
They bring everybody back.
Not everybody.
Well, not everybody, but you bring the bulk of the cast.
There is no Sharona. Dun, 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 dun. No Sharona.
Yeah. Anyway.
I just had to, because that's one of the greatest songs of all time. My Sharona.
I will give you that one. Begrudgingly.
It was just like Aaron said.
It was an overlong episode of what you had before.
Right. It's nothing different, nothing spectacular. Yes, there's
some heartstrings they try to tug on.
Right. To really, truly make it his last case.
Yeah.
And that works to a point.
It gets a little overdone.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But
a little overcooked, a little overdone, especially at the end.
You knew where it was going.
Yeah, you did. You knew they weren't going to go with the downer ending.
Right.
You knew they were not going to go with the downer ending because, God forbid, we'd actually do things that maybe the character would have wanted.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Never go with the downer ending.
Where that was always
leading.
Yeah. It was from the beginning. That was always a possibility.
Yep. So I didn't hate it. Again, it was just an overlong episode of the TV series.
And it wasn't anything spectacular.
Now, you want to compare it to what we reviewed earlier? I'll watch this any day of the week over Exorcist Believer.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit of a comfort food factor to it. You know the character, you've seen him in the past, you're fine with him doing his thing, doing his OCD thing, to his detriment a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, though, it works out for him.
If you really liked the show, you're going to like this one. If you were about the show, don't.
Yeah, there's no point.
Don't.
There's no point in you coming to it now, trying to jump in now. I will give Mr. Monk's last case a week 2 frenzies.
A week 2 is right where it belongs.
Yeah. I can't recommend it. No. Again, if you liked the original
show. If you liked the original and liked the character,
go ahead.
Then you need to see it to finish it off.
Go ahead and watch it.
Otherwise, don't jump in.
Don't say finish it off.
Well, anyway. It's open-ended, as it always is.
As you would expect, because Hollywood, of course, has to keep it open because there could be more money to be made.
That's right. Depending on how this does.
Who knows? They might start up a new series.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Psych to come back, damn it.
That's the first thing I thought as I watched this, is when do we get Psych
When's
again?
The next Psych movie?
Okay, now you brought Monk back. When's the next Psych movie? Yep. How about this? How about this for an idea? You want to bring Monk back and start a new series with Monk?
Bring Psych back as well,
put him right back double. Again, back to back. Put them right back again, back to back.
I'm in.
Tell you what, put them on the 2 hours before On Patrol Live starts Friday night.
That would be beautiful.
7 to 8 Monk, 8 to 9 Psych, 9 to midnight On Patrol Live. There you go. I have just programmed the most awesome Friday night in Peacock history.
Boom. Confetti.
There you go.
We have to run everything.
I know. Doesn't it suck?
It does.
Don't we have to do everything
the weight
for everybody?
of the world on our shoulders.
Bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. We should get paid more for this.
We should get paid, period.
All right. Movies that we will be looking at, possibly. We've talked about Obliterated. We've talked about Reacher.
We did not talk Obliterated.
Did we? I thought
we
did.
talked about Pre.
Okay, we're looking at Obliterated.
Yes.
Which on Netflix looks very interesting, and we've heard there's a lot of redeeming qualities. So, of course,
see.
you know we're going to be reviewing Reacher. I might, again, delve into Barbie. There is another movie, by the way, on Paramount Plus that I'm very interested in called Finest Kind that debuts this weekend. A murder mystery, I think, set aboard a fishing boat.
Ooh, there you go.
So, might have that one for you as well.
I'll bumble upon something.
All right. We got a lot of moments of silence.
Way too damn many.
A lot of moments of silence.
Should we hit the big one right off the bat? Ryan O'Neal. The king of 70s romance movies.
And he was lucky enough to be married to the wonderful, awesome Farrah Fawcett.
Yep. The lovely daughter, Tatum O'Neal.
And I know he had issues. I know he had a lot of issues. But I always kind of felt like he cared so much about Farrah Fawcett. And when she died, I think it tore him apart.
Yeah.
And
they had their issues, but
I think that was one of those situations where it was kind of like a Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward thing where that was, those two were meant to be together. You know?
Yeah.
Even though Newman and Woodward were both very pristine, had all their crap together. And of course, Ryan O'Neal and Farrah Fawcett both had their issues, their problems with substances and anger.
Well, you could put Steve McQueen and Ally McGraw in that category as well.
There's another one. Yep. So they just felt like they deserved to be together, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
But yes, we had Love Story.
Main Event, What's Up, Doc, Paper Moon with his daughter Tatum.
Right. Yep. So one of the more underrated, let's say, movie stars of the 70s.
Yeah.
Kind of shocked that one of your stars from Peaky Blinders has passed away. Benjamin Zephaniah.
Yep.
And then, of course, the great TV actor Andre Braugher, only 61 years old.
Yeah. Homicide, Life on the Streets, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I don't want to talk about that show. I will not.
That's what people now know him for, unfortunately, with the overrated Andy Samberg.
Jesus. Does you have to be rated to be overrated?
Yeah.
Jesus God. Another one of these idiots that, SNL, after SNL, started sucking ass.
Yeah.
Going back to old school television. Let's go back.
Way back.
Combat.
Jack Hogan. Oh, my goodness. And then Ellen Holly from One Life to Live, the first black star on daytime television, passed away. And then, hearkening back to our childhood, Ezra Mohawk, Schoolhouse Rock singer and songwriter.
You know, I got a special place in my heart for Schoolhouse Rock. Love Schoolhouse Rock. And these kids
So
nowadays
good.
do not have the Saturday morning cartoons like we had, and don't have that little interlude.
Yep.
3 is a magic number.
Conjunction Junction, Interplanet Janet.
I'm just a Bill. I mean, you learned shit in between the mindless cartoons.
Damn it.
You learned shit. And I still have my DVDs of Schoolhouse Rock, and I love them. I cherish them.
As you should.
Now, for the geeks out there, the fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, Camden Toy, I guess, played a role in both of those series, passed away. And then he wasn't an official Beach Boy.
No.
But he was a touring member for a long time with the Beach Boys. Jeffrey Foskett passed away.
Yep. And then Richard Kerr, songwriter for Barry Manilow, Dionne Warwick, has passed away. Iconic songs like Mandy.
Oh, Mandy, you came and you gave without taking. And I don't care anymore, oh, Mandy.
There you go.
I just wasn't a Barry Manilow guy.
No, me neither.
Never was. But the only one I liked was Ships. That's the only one, because it's just such a cheesy line. We're just two ships that pass in the night. Come on. You gotta love that. But otherwise, I don't know. I was never a parent.
Too many damn moments of silence this week.
I know. So I've got 3 dumbasses to pivot to.
Pivot.
So is 3 enough to do Dumbass or Not?
We could.
America's favorite game show?
A miniature version.
All right. Now, this is almost too easy, because it seems like every couple months I find one of these. It's another example of Hollywood, of Broadway, not having any kind of originality. So the latest movie that Broadway is going to turn into a stage musical. We're not talking about Peter Pan. We're talking about the movie from the 80s with the Coreys, The Lost Boys.
Oh, come on! You cannot do The Lost Boys as a musical.
And again, we're not talking about The Lost Boys in Peter Pan. We're talking about the vampire movie with Kiefer Sutherland and Corey Feldman and Corey Haim.
You got the Frog Brothers. Come on. No.
You know they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep doing this, Dave, and keep doing this.
I mean, it's bad enough you went from movie to musical to movie again with The Color Purple.
Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see how that works with the latest incarnation of The Color Purple. I'll admit, I saw the original movie. I thought it was great.
But again, just let it be.
Right. Just take the win. Take the W. I'm going to rip on Kiss. Now, maybe it's because I read an after-the-fact review of the final concerts at Madison Square Garden. The final show, of course, Saturday, December the 2nd. Now, of course, we all know about the avatars they put out there at the end, as they said, Kiss will live on forever. And then, of course, they did not mention, we talked about this, Ace Frehley, Peter Criss, Eric Carr. They never mentioned
because
any
why
of the
would
past
they?
members.
Why would they?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. The band has been around for how many decades, and they don't mention the other members that had played in the band outside of the four
that is
right
the
now.
Ego of Gene and Paul.
Correct.
Horrible.
But this is a fan. I'm sorry, me personally would have pissed me off. Turns out that as fans were leaving Madison Square Garden, they were handing out really nice metal gold tickets, like commemorative gold tickets that you had been to the show.
The final.
And they were like in gold tickets encased in like plastic.
Like a plexiglass.
Yeah, plexiglass. There you go. Here's the problem. They decided just to start handing them out randomly to people as they left.
So not everybody would get one.
And people took multiples.
Oh, no.
So you've got people grabbing handfuls of these things, and then other people coming out a few minutes later not getting any.
And of course, now they're being sold online.
Yep. And the people who did not get any are like
what
threatening legal action, saying, why didn't we get ours? You should have given one to everybody who attended the concert. So they pretty much figured out a way to botch this whole night.
Of course they did.
Between the avatars and
not recognizing the original members.
Yep. And then the whole golden ticket fiasco.
Just bad.
So somehow Gene and Paul fucked it up. Somehow they fucked it up.
Dumbasses.
Finally. Now, Dave and I like our spirits. We like our adult beverages. And occasionally, if it's done right, we've sampled some wonderful salted caramel whiskey.
Cinnamon, what have you.
I'm not a big fan, but a lot of people like Fireball, But sometimes this stuff goes a little bit too far with the flavors.
Sometimes.
We are now going to get, by the company called Empirical, $65 a bottle for a 750 milliliter bottle, a new spirit that is flavored like Doritos Nacho Cheese.
Why?
Well,
that's just dumb.
I will just point out that they have actually done this in the past with Arby's. They have actually had, not horseradish, not horsey sauce.
Arby's sauce.
Good Lord, could you imagine?
You would have to use that for a Bloody Mary, wouldn't you?
But no, they have flavored spirits in the past for Arby's based on, I believe, the curly fries was one.
Ugh.
And then I think the pulled pork was the other one. That one, I'm not sure on. Something close.
No, just stop.
Why are we doing this?
Why? That's dumb.
I don't understand why we can't just drink our whiskey that tastes like whiskey.
Let things alone. No.
And again,
no.
We'll admit we like the salted caramel whiskey. That's good stuff. But
come on. If you start
nacho cheese,
Doritos, curly fries, come on, that's just stupid. That's dumb beyond belief.
I think we need to get into this, though. Sports Frenzy booze.
I'm surprised Gwyneth Paltrow hasn't.
Oh, God, Dave. Oh, God, Dave. Are you thinking about the candles?
Yes.
Vagina.
Gwyneth Paltrow vagina whiskey.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, I can't believe you brought that up, but it makes so much sense. It's ridiculous. Based on how much of a nutbag she is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we should get in on that. Sports
How many people have gotten in that?
Sports Frenzy and Goop present vagina-scented, vagina-flavored whiskey.
How many people have gotten in that, though?
Well, we know Ben Affleck did. Chris Martin of Coldplay. That's it for this week, kids.
We're out.
That's your Uncle Dave.
That's your Uncle Kev.
We'll talk to you in 7 days for your next weekend edition hangover cure. Until then, stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet